Hey, everybody, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much.
How has it changed much, or from the time that I got to visit them? And how would they access it to get to the sixth floor if they were trying to set him up as the as it? Let's talk about that limited access to the building, because that's really important for understanding that Oswald probably acted as a shooter in the building. Because the ability for strangers. There were basically one main entrance for the public, and that was at front doors. And it pretty much went into the, two sets of double doors and went into a will call counter. And between the two sets of doors, there was a small lobby, and the lobby had stairs in it, but the stairs only went up to the second floor. So that was pretty much it. You could not access any stairs from the front of the building beyond the second floor if you came into that little lobby area, which was not attended. Now, there was also a small passenger elevator in that lobby, but that elevator only went up to the fourth floor. When the building was first built in 1895 or 1898, I forget which right now, it was the not the Texas School Book Depository. It was South Rock Island Plow Company, and it was built in 1895. I'm going to go with that right now. And it was a 5-story building. So they built a passenger elevator in the front there in that little lobby, but it only went up to the fourth floor. That way they could put the lift mechanism on the fifth floor and not have to build a shed or a roof opening for it. The building was struck by lightning in 1901, which gutted the building. And they rebuilt the building, and they added the 6th and 7th floor to it. If you look at the front of the building, you can kind of see roof supports right there between 5 and 6. And that's because the building was originally only a 5-story building. So they left the passenger elevator alone. It wasn't damaged in the fire. They pretty much left it alone. And so you could only access up to the fourth floor, that front elevator. So to get to the 5th, 6th, and 7th floors, or the basement, excuse me, you had to use either the freight elevators in the back corner or the stairs in the back corner of the building. So let me cover those a little bit. There were 2 freight elevators, and they actually shared an elevator shaft. They were back to back on the elevator shaft, and they were about 7-foot tall steel cages is basically what they were. The roof of the freight elevators were perforated steel with a light fixture in it. There was no hatch for going up the top. So if you're a Bruce Willis fan of jumping around in elevator shafts, forget about it. It didn't happen. Sorry to disappoint you. And it went up back to back, and there were 2 elevators. There was a manual elevator, which had a push button, and you had to hold the button or lever for the elevator to move, and there was a callable button elevator, just like any other one. It had 7 buttons for all 7 floors, or 8 floors, including the basement. And they were freight elevators, and they were back to back. They were fairly small. They were about 5 foot by 4 foot. And I'm one of the few researchers that have photos of the interior of all those elevators. I had the gates were closed. The other one, again, had single gate, had to be closed for safety before the buttons would work. You could see right through these gates. In addition to that, the elevator shaft had a row of windows on the outside of the north side of the building, so they were well lit. So when the elevators were not there, you could see straight through one set of slatted gates, wooden gates. Testimony that they've given over the years. And House Select Committee on Assassination also charted movements in the elevators. But you could see right through the elevator. So every time and into the elevator, if you're on it. So anyone accessing the building was subject to being spotted by any of the employees on any of the floors. And so that's one weakness of other people sliding in and out of the building. But let's talk about the back stairs briefly. These were single flight stairs. They were not like a modern stairwell where you could go into the stairs and you would be hidden by walls and you've got landings and you just go up and down at will. And unless you step off or out of the stairwell, no one can see you. They were single flight stairs. They went between one floor and the next, and then you had to cross 20 or 25 feet of floor to get to the next flight of stairs. And to come back down, you reversed it. So you basically went into a 3-foot wide set of stairs. You went in on the north wall, you went up halfway, then you turned 90 degrees to your left and continued up the west walls until you came to the next floor. Then you would cross 20 or 25 feet of flooring, open floor, where you can be spotted by any of the employees at any time through the floor. Those are the ways that you access the 5th, 6th, and 7th floors, and those are the only access except for the fire escape on the outside on the Houston side of the building. So anybody accessing the building was subject to being seen by any of the employees at any time as they crossed these floors or went by them in the freight elevator.